Hello, I'm Charles Wade, pastor at First Baptist Church, and welcome to First Light, a ministry of our congregation as we seek to open windows and let the light shine through on the ministries that people in this community and in our church are doing throughout this city to help people and to make a difference in lives. You hear me say every once in a while as I introduce the program that this is a ministry of the television ministry of First Baptist Church. Well, today it's our privilege to have the leader of our television ministry, Mac Martin. Now, Mac, I just called you the leader of this crowd, and I'm in a lot of trouble. I know. I don't think you're the chairman of the committee.
No, Eric Radomski.
Eric Radomski is the chairman. Right. We've got titles for everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Since we can't pay anything, we give titles. Well, what's your title?
I've ended up being sort of a coordinator and a liaison between the music department and our group. So.
Sounds impressive to me.
There's a lot to it, but it takes a lot of help to make it all work.
Yeah, it's an exciting thing. Well, let's talk a little bit about the television ministry of First Baptist Church and how it's been a part of this community. Before you came to be a part of our church, we had an opportunity to be on Channel 11, the broadcast
Right.
Channel 11. And we only could stay on 9 months, Mac, because it cost so much. They went up. After 3 months, we were paying $1,000 a week for 30 minutes. Then they went up to $1,250. And then they were getting ready to go up to $1,500 a week when we said, oh, we can't stand this good fortune we have to be on your channel. We just couldn't afford to do it. And we, of course, we were glad to be there. But God provided resources, and we bought our own equipment, came off of that, and the cable began just about that time. And we got on the cable, which we're still on now all these years later. And the rest is history, as they say.
Right.
So thank you for what you do to help us broadcast our services. I think it might be interesting to people to talk about who helps this happen? Who are the people who make it happen?
Well, I think I'm most proud of that whole group of folks. There's about, added it up before I came in, about 21 different positions that are required just to keep us on the air. And
you mean on one Sunday morning?
For a week.
For a week, for all the things we do.
For our Sunday morning, Sunday evening, Wednesday night work. About 21 different positions that we have to fill.
Right.
Well over 100 hours of work involved with the schedule that we all keep here.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of people.
Are you talking about 100 hours a week from those 21 people?
Not everybody puts in.
No, I mean
total hours. Yes,
I mean 21 people put in 100 hours, an average of about 4 to 5 hours apiece.
That's correct. That's about what it is, and we try to schedule people so that they're not necessarily scheduled every month or every week. We try to rotate that around, but to do that, we always are looking for more people and more volunteers.
That's wonderful.
But this involves producers and directors and cameramen and people that are more technically involved in setting up the equipment.
Engineer types.
Engineer type people that really have to know how the cameras work and how the switcher works and put all that together. We have an operator of our character generator where we put your name under your face on the screen. Somebody has to do that and plan it. So there's quite a staff of people behind the scenes.
One Sunday not long ago, I had been baptizing, and after I baptized, I came down, and before I went into the sanctuary back to continue, someone was singing solo, so I waited so I wouldn't interrupt, and I stepped into the TV room right there beside the sanctuary.
Right.
And it was a beehive. They were saying camera 1, camera 3, and everybody had to, boy, it was a well-organized thing. It was impressive.
On Sunday mornings, beginning at actually 10:30 with the airing of this particular program with First Light, and then coming up to 10:50, beginning at 10:50, we're live. We are a live broadcast, and
with all the mistakes.
A little bit of nervousness and mistakes can happen, but
there are not many live things on TV anymore, are there?
No, not really. Yeah. And we're very proud of that. We want to keep it live, and we are live on cable channel 13, which is our local public access channel, beginning at 10:30 on Sundays. We then go live at, as I said, at 10:50. We tape that program, and then we show it again at 12 o'clock on cable channel 11, so that we're actually on 2 different stations on Sunday morning.
I don't know whether that's confusing to people or not, but it really has worked well because we have other churches in town, First Christian and First Methodist and some other churches have their programs on the cable as well.
That's part of it, so we all work together.
So we work together that everybody gets the best time they can.
Right.
But we're live on channel 13
Correct.
at 10:30 until noon.
Right.
And then we are on tape delay on channel 11 at noon.
At 12 to 1. Right.
Yeah, right, from 12 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a quick turnaround.
That's a bit of a technical challenge right there because
well, you've got
we have people running the tape decks and all that has to be cued in correctly.
You've got some impressive people doing that, don't you?
Well, we really do.
One of the things that I've observed, sometimes young people and young adults who get involved in the television ministry go on to get positions in that industry. They learn how to do it and they get interested. And I'm thinking about David Horton, who's a student down at Baylor now.
Right.
He comes back and helps us. And I don't know, is he thinking about working in that area?
He absolutely is. I believe he's pursuing that as a major at Baylor. He's been able to already find sort of an intern job with some of the local TV people in Waco. David Merchant, who's been with us a long time, came to us really to just learn how to do this, and many of the others came without that video and television background. And then we have some people that are very knowledgeable and experienced.
Well, one of the people who helps us is Daryl Bernard.
Right.
And, you know, I used to pastor in Enid, Oklahoma years ago. And Daryl was just a kid, little kid. And then he got involved in their TV, cable TV, radio programming, and wound up, that's his profession. Then they moved down here, and he works for
Michael Brown Productions.
Michael Brown Productions, and then works with us, and has added a lot to our.
He adds a lot of creativity to what we're doing, brings a lot of experience.
And Dina Whitehurst and Eric Radomski work over at the Radio and Television Commission.
Dina and Craig came to us from First Baptist Church, Dallas. They moved to this area and walked in one Sunday and said, we used to be with the TV ministry there, and I think we signed them up within the hour, you know.
You mean you don't have to be a member of the church for a year before you could work in this program?
Absolutely not. There's openings any week. In fact, we invite people to come by the TV room and observe and see what we're all about.
We may even have some people helping us who aren't members yet. I think some folks have come and they maybe someday they'll want to be members, but they really do want to help get the television ministry out to the community.
Well, we try to make it enjoyable. It's a sort of work that you need to enjoy if you're going to do it.
Right.
Both Daryl and Eric are involved with training. You can walk in and know absolutely nothing about a camera or how to operate any of the equipment, and we'll actually train you cameras or train you to be a director or any of the
people
jobs.
Pay thousands of dollars to go to school to learn what we do for free. Well, if the people are getting the idea we're making a pitch for volunteers, that's exactly what's happening, right? So we try to make it user-friendly, huh?
Right.
Well, what would you say if you were talking to somebody out there who, you know, is looking for a place to serve in a church, and they might be interested in helping us, or maybe there's somebody who's, you know, there are people who have gone to church and felt like there wasn't anything they could do, and they've dropped out.
Right.
And maybe this would be an opportunity God would give them to find a way back into service. What would you say to them?
I would definitely tell them that it's a great way to serve, and we have a great feeling of accomplishment with what we're doing. We know from the letters we receive that there are people that can't get to church because of health or whatever their situation might be, we know that we give those people a chance to worship that they might not otherwise have. So,
well, the other day, and this has been increasingly so over the last 2 years, I get the report from our new members class that visits with the people, and they always ask them, how did you first hear about the church? And there are always people who say, television.
Oh, that's great.
You know,
I like to hear that.
Yeah, I know you do, and I do too. And we are really grateful that it is an outreach that touches lives, encourages people. Sometimes people are really vulnerable. On Sunday mornings, they either haven't been to church in a long time, and they're, you know, flipping channels, surfing, and they hit something, and it reminds them, and it calls them to attention. And you know, one thing about watching church on television, you can turn it off anytime you want to. And I think a lot of people just kind of listen to segments, you know, and then they go on and come back, and they don't hear the whole thing. But even if you just get parts of it,
they may tune in for the music or the message or all of it, and so we know they watch for different reasons.
That's right.
But we have the Sunday mornings, we have Sunday evenings that we're on live at 6 p.m.
Right.
And then on Wednesday nights, we have programming from about 5:30 in the afternoon until 9 o'clock at night with a variety of pre-produced programs.
We have a youth YAC program. What's that all about?
Well, it's a new program really geared to the youth, and Daryl's involved with that along with Kurt Grice. And it really deals with some tough issues and things that youth are interested in. We're real excited about that.
That's great. Well, you know, I wish everybody loved our television ministry as much as my mother does. She watches everything she can. She watches me on Wednesday night. You know, we have the service. She's here on Sunday morning. Then Wednesday night we rebroadcast.
Right.
And she always is saying, Charles, when I hear the sermon the second time, it's just so wonderful. I just get so much more out of it. Now, everybody needs a mother like that, right?
We need more fans like that.
Well, I tell you, it does me good. I'll tell you for sure. She's been a wonderful mother all these years, and I'm delighted that our television ministry, not only for her, of course, but hundreds of people. We have a lot in our own church who are no longer able to come. She can come most of the time, but at night a lot of folks can't any longer.
Right.
So they're there, and they feel a part. They are a part. And our church is, you know, when you have 2,000 people on Sunday morning, you think, boy, this is a huge crowd. This is a lot of people, and that's true. But it's likely that we have more than 2,000 people who watch away from the church, and here we're able to double our ministry without having to build another building yet, and that's good. That's part of what we're about. It's getting the church outside the walls, not limited to this particular place, downtown Arlington. Mac, I really, I've tried to tell you many different ways, and I want to say again, what God has done through you and through your crew and all of y'all who work together is a great blessing to this church, to me, the work of God in this city, and to everybody who gets to watch and who otherwise couldn't have a chance. And I might say that one of the reasons for the hours we spend is that, correct me if I'm wrong, at least it has been, that all the churches that do cable broadcasting, do they channel through? Do our people switch them in and out, or do we do that any longer?
No, we don't have to do that. But
that's a help.
It really is, but we're all in good communication with other churches and work together.
When we first started, we we did that because we had the central place. Right. So thankfully, everybody's got an enlarged program. That's good. Thanks again, Mac. We could talk a lot about this, but if you want to help, be a part of this ministry, they just have to call and volunteer or show up.
Call the music office if you'd like to, or just come by the TV room any Sunday.
Yeah, okay, good. Welcome. We got to run. Thank you for watching. This has been First Light, and until next week, may the light of God's great love keep shining on you.